fun. Philippine Islands. It's more fun in the Philippines. It's more fun in the Philippines. Philippine Islands. It's more fun in the Philippines.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to International Prop Chat. My name is Sue Wong, your host of today. I'm on behalf of IQI Global, Asia's largest real estate firm and a member of Juwai.com. I would like to thank you and welcome you for tuning in and supporting our program. This program features various real estate projects, global investment criteria, at the same time sharing some of the latest and hottest projects all around the world in different countries. So do join us every week. Today, we are privileged to have both Mr. Brian and Miguel from IQI Philippines to share with us and the comparison of investment hotspot in the Philippines in Manila. Okay. Hi, Brian. Hi,
Hi,
Miguel.
Matthew. Good
Hi.
evening. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you guys?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
We're all good. We're all good.
Okay, we are so happy that you can join us today and share about the investment hotspot in Manila. So the floor is yours, Brian and Miguel. Go on.
All right. Thank you, Miss Sue. So, hello, everyone. First off, thank you for spending your Saturday night with us. It is a good day to talk about real estate, especially now that we are joined by our international team or the IQI Global. And of course, Miss Sue, thank you. We are glad to be sharing this platform with you for today's discussion. Now, for our first CBD, Makati. Makati is the country's premier financial district with a rich urban culture. It is booming with business opportunities, but it's also where the modern Filipino can live a life of a thousand trails. It is home to the towering offices, shopping centers, museums, and more. The possibilities here are endless. That's why it's one of the most sought after locations for real estate development. Now, when it comes to the city's residential property market, there has been an increasing demand for condominiums in major CBDs, especially here in Makati. In the first quarter of 2022 alone, the leads for residential rents in Makati have increased by 40% quarter on quarter. The average rental rate per square meter for a studio and a one bedroom in Makati is currently at 930 pesos. Well, comparing to the pre-pandemic rental rates, this price point is significantly lower, just like those in Fort Bonifacio and Ortigas Center. But with this, it is the best time for tenants to be taking advantage of rental rate corrections in a prime location like Makati.
Wow, Brian. So, what is the demographic of the tenant renting in Makati? Are they majority local or expats?
For the everyday employee, well, both Filipino and the modern, what do you call this, the American European expats, they really form a substantial part for the lease market in Makati. Well,
Mm,
the reason for that is because these foreigners are either professionals who are in the Philippines for work or
mm,
retirees that have
mm,
settled in the country for an extended period of time.
mm,
And for the locals who are majority tenants of
mm,
Makati,
mm,
their simple reason is that they just want to get close to their work and save
yeah.
some travel time.
Mm, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So you
Mhm.
mentioned just now when the rental is slightly lower now due to the pandemic. How about the property prices in this area pre-pandemic and now? What is the comparison?
Okay. According to GPG Global House Price Survey, the Philippines experienced a house price boom from 2010 to 2018, with
Mm,
Makati CBD prices rising by 125%.
mm,
But with a slowing domestic economy coupled with the US China trade war, the housing
mm,
market slowed sharply in 2019.
mm.
Then, come by 2020, the COVID 19 pandemic
Yeah.
aggravated the situation, sending the housing market to its knees. But
Mm,
Colliers recorded a gradual increase in prices in quarter one of 2022.
okay.
They project that prices will recover by 2.7% by the
Mm,
end of 2022 as investor sentiment improves.
okay. Okay, that's really good news for those that want to come into the Philippine market right now, isn't it? Yep, expecting
Yes.
to improve. Okay, Miguel, how about the office market? Can you share with us?
All right. So for the office market, Makati CBD, along with BGC and Ortigas Center, are still the top choices for businesses who plan to expand their company headquarters in Metro Manila. In 2021, Colliers International reported that these CBDs accounted for 45% of total office space deals. This figure suggests that as more employees start returning to their offices, the residential demand for these key locations will continue to spike. This can only mean one thing: more developers are expected to roll out more ready for occupancy units in Makati with amenable leasing terms to tenants. In this way, they can achieve optimal levels of occupancy.
Okay, when you talked about a commercial property, are these mainly for rental or are they also available for investment for by the foreigners?
All right. Well, commercial properties are open for investment by foreigners, but
Mm,
most commercial properties in the market right now is mainly for rental because tenants are holding onto their spaces, indicating their long-term confidence that things will
mm,
eventually work out,
mm,
notwithstanding work from home arrangements and other difficulties of the moment. And
okay.
despite the implementation of work from home arrangements, some firms, including outsourcing companies, continue to look for
Mm,
office space across the country. We actually see these inquiries materializing over the next 12 months, which would
mm.
anchor recovery in office space take up within and outside Metro Manila.
Okay. How is the sentiment now in Philippines? Because in Malaysia, we are still, some employers are still not decided whether the employees will come back to the office in full force. Yeah. So, what is the situation in Philippines now? Are most companies encouraging the employees to start working in the office?
Okay, as I've mentioned earlier, actually, office leasing will be supported by a
Mm,
successful COVID inoculation program. So the
mm,
data gathered from the Department of Health has shown that most Filipinos have been fully vaccinated. And now,
Mm,
last March 2022, government urges workers to actually return to offices under Alert Level 1. The
mm,
reason is if more people go to their offices, that will stimulate spending. So, for
mm,
example, people will go out, there will be more places to spend on the way to and from work. And in that
mm,
way, it revives the places around the area. And the result will help micro, small, and medium enterprises in business areas to resume their previous operations.
mm. I see. I see. So, what other hotspots are they? Are you going to bring us to see?
All right, so for our next CBD is actually BGC, or
Mm,
the Bonifacio Global City. It is one of the biggest and most popular commercial and business hubs in the Philippines. Centrally located in Taguig City, it offers a unique lifestyle and a wide range of retail concepts for the urban dweller. It is home to the country's top corporations, flagship stores, artistic venues, and most of all, a diverse and progressive real estate market. With so much
mm,
to offer, it fulfills the residential dreams of professionals and growing families alike. And speaking of residential, the average rental rate per square meter for a studio and one bedroom unit is 870 pesos. Just like in Makati, the price declined compared to the pre-pandemic rate. Well, similarly, tenants are likely to take advantage of this price drop and aggressively look for viable residential condos in the district. And if you're actually wondering if there's enough supply, the answer is yes. With the reopening of markets and steady recovery from the pandemic, numerous launches of new condominiums are underway. It is
mm,
also projected that condo sales will spike up by the third quarter of 2022. And
mm,
office leasing volumes in the city have also risen since the wide-scale lockdown has been lifted. During
mm.
the first 5 months, office leasing transactions reached up to 276,000 square meter in the whole Metro Manila. And a huge chunk of that can be attributed to major districts like this, BGC.
Okay. How far is BGC from Makati, and how do people commute between these two locations?
Okay, traveling from Makati to BGC will take approximately 15 minutes if you have
Okay.
your own car and also without traffic. Since the distance from Makati to BGC is actually more or less 5 kilometers, but with the reopening of businesses and employees returning to their offices,
Mm,
traffic is expected to be at its peak. So for
okay.
people that wants to go to BGC from Makati, they have an option to take a jeepney and a bus.
Mm, okay. Okay. So peak traffic, how long will it take?
Uh, More likely around 30 minutes
Okay.
to 40 minutes, maybe.
That's not too bad. Not too bad. Because in Malaysia now, in KL now, we are experiencing peak traffic any time of the day. So
Oh, any time of the day.
traffic is really heavy. Okay, I have heard a little about BGC High Street. Can you share a little bit more about this area? What is the unique thing about this area?
Okay, BGC High Street is a 1 kilometer long boulevard line
Mm,
with exceptional shopping and dining options. Bonifacio High Street is the first ever shopping center in the country to introduce the Main Street concept. It is
okay.
the home of a multitude of passions ranging from fashion, health, and beauty, technology, home, dining, and many others. Also,
Mm,
there will be a series of landscape parks and
mm,
commercial buildings that would comprise the block. It draws big inspiration from boutique districts of New York City, Los Angeles, Toronto, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Hong Kong, Tokyo, and Seoul, to name a few. Yeah.
I see. That sounds interesting. I have not been to the Philippines, and after this talk, maybe I should book a ticket there. Okay. So, yeah. So, what is your Thank you for sharing these two locations. So, what is the next location that you're going to show us?
All right, guys. So here's the last CBD that we're going to be discussing. This is the Ortigas Center.
Hmm.
Now, did you know that Ortigas used to be a wasteland in the early 1900s? Now, look what it has become. Located at the heart of Metro Manila, the Ortigas Center is a bustling district that stands on the ground of three major cities: Pasig, Mandaluyong, and Quezon City. It is home to the numerous gigantic shopping malls, renowned academic institutions, and office headquarters. Now, in terms of economic supremacy, it is second to Makati, but its opportunities for real estate progress are truly unmatched. Now, I want to talk about its residential market. The average rental rate per square meter for a studio and a one bedroom unit in Ortigas Center is 770 pesos. Like Makati and BGC rates, this one saw a significant decline since the pandemic. But many real estate market analysts see high recovery by early 2023. Now, what's continually and drastically rising though is live office requirements in the key business district, including Ortigas. As of May 2022, there's a total of 375,000 of live office requirements in Metro Manila, which is expected to conclude in the next 6 months. About 40% of this comes from the IT BPM sector. But with these numbers, it is likely that more office space inquiries will come in from June onwards. And finally, guys, I want to talk about the benefits of acquiring a property in a township development. Township developments are increasingly becoming a viable property purchase for home seekers and investors alike. They are typically located in the outskirts of major cities, with most developments offering high quality accommodations. Now, here's the big why. Well, aside from housing, they also consist of necessary facilities such as education, healthcare, and amenities, all within a relatively small area. With that being said, I want to discuss some of the greatest advantages of acquiring a township property. First, township residents can have a balanced lifestyle. Townships are widely considered a city within a city. As I mentioned earlier, they aren't just residential properties. Township developments can include key establishments like office headquarters, shopping centers, and other leisure spots. With this, residents can have a live, work, play lifestyle.
Okay, next. Living within a township is relatively more practical because residents get easy access to goods and services within the community. They can save time and money going to the metro for their essentials. They also won't need to endure the long drive and traffic towards the metro. Township residents can simply walk to the office, go shopping, or dine with the family, all in one place. Urban living, but cost effective. Next advantage here is that people can get better services and security. Well, aside from saving money, effort, and travel time, township properties can also benefit from integrated land development. Township developers plan these projects with the growth of the whole district in mind. So, townships also integrate additional infrastructure for public security, power lines, traffic routes, water connection, and waste management within the community. So, next is actually township residents can benefit from community support. During tough times and calamities, township administration can step in to support the community. We saw many cases of township administration support at the height of the pandemic, wherein they put in the work to offer essential services, community pantries, mobile palenques, and many more initiatives.
And finally, township investments have great investment returns. Because of its convenience, integration, and security, township developments are getting increasingly more appealing to city dwellers. As a result, The prices of residential properties in an integrated township developments are set to get a higher appreciation returns compared to a standalone property. Now, a good and a well planned township development can offer a more promising return on investment or ROI potential.
Okay, wow, looks like you guys have shared with us quite a few different things and so much good, unique advantages of staying in a township. So, with these three hotspots that you shared with us, right? Okay, personally, in your own opinion, which area would your personal first choice if your client is looking at the entry level investment property? And then which one will be your choice for some clients that looking at maybe luxury property.
Okay. In my opinion, it would be Ortiga Center since that is where our office is. No, I'm just kidding aside. But
Yeah.
Ortigas, since I'm gonna choose Ortiga since it is an upcoming city touted as the most centrally located business district again in
Mm,
Metro Manila. We
mm,
can really see its landscape changing, even in the
mm,
fringe areas and the
mm,
boundaries that extend to cities like Mandaluyong and Pasig.
mm,
Um, with regards to luxury properties, my choice would be the Lattice by Alveo at Parklinks
mm,
because it is strategically located as a convergence point for urban centers in Makati, BGC, Ortigas, and Quezon City, as well
mm,
as neighboring residential communities, educational institutions, and commercial establishment.
mm.
But with regards to its investment potential, the Lattice ranks first in all Ayala Land estate developments.
I see, I see. So Miguel, do you have the same opinion or you have differing opinion?
Well, no bias for my answer though. But in my case, my choice for an entry level investment would also be Ortigas Center
Oh.
because this area, yeah, actually, because this area has not been fully developed. So
Okay.
the price per square meter in Ortigas
Mm,
Center will still go higher than it is now. Unlike in
mm,
Makati and BGC, though there are areas in Makati that are outside, maybe near the city center, that is lower than the properties inside the most busy areas. And
mm,
actually, another reason is, of course, the infrastructure projects that are set to further improve the
mm,
accessibility of Ortigas Center, such as the new Santa Monica Lawton Bridge, which will
mm,
connect Ortigas Center to Bonifacio Global City, the Metro
mm,
Manila Subway, with
mm.
two proposed stations in Ortigas
Okay.
Center and
Mm,
expected to be done by the year 2025. And of
mm,
course, there's another which is MRT4. This is
mm,
a 15.5-kilometer MRT4, which will run along Ortigas Avenue and Ortigas Avenue Extension. And this will spur the growth of businesses in the vicinity and also help maximize its potential for economic expansion. And for the luxury project for me in this area would be the Velaris Residences. This is the pilot project of a
mm.
powerhouse partnership between international property leader Hong Kong Land and Philippine real estate giant Robinson's Land. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Well, looks like Ortigas is in the good books of both of you to recommend to those who are looking for their first investment property in the Philippines. Yeah. So, audience, if you are interested to find out more about this, please contact us. Okay. So, uh, how about have you, because I think we have all just been out from our last 2 years of pandemic. So what did you both of you observe in the major changes in the property market in Philippines pre and post pandemic? Can you share, Brian?
I think for this part, I'm gonna answer it. Despite the massive disruptions and
Mm,
difficulties caused by the pandemic,
mm,
opportunities continue to abound the Philippine real estate industry.
mm,
But there has been some slight changes in investment perception,
mm,
particularly in real estate investments. You
mm,
know, everybody now is looking for flight to safety. Due
mm,
to the prolonged pandemic, most investors would like to minimize their risk.
mm,
And another thing that we've seen in the past is flight to
mm,
quality.
mm,
Investors tend to prefer quality recession-proof developments and
mm,
developments with amenities that provide safety nets against the spikes of the virus. So
mm.
yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay. Miguel, how about you? Do you see anything that's different from Brian?
All right. So actually, also regarding monetary policies set by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas support the increasing level of real estate investments and
Mm,
growing capital values as these help keep interest rates at a low level and inflation rates at manageable levels. This
mm,
create a more conducive environment for investors to thrive. To
mm,
move to the industry towards recovery, the need to constantly innovate as well as to learn and build on the
mm.
experiences from the pandemic to better face the new realities, as that's the only way we can move forward.
I see. Yes. Thank you very much for sharing. So, what do you think of the market outlook for the real estate market outlook for next 5 years? What's your in your opinion? How does it look like?
Well, as our economy returns to the above average pace of growth and maturations of its internal continues,
Mm,
the local and international investors alike should become more increasingly intrigued.
mm.
I think, this is the best time to get in because what is reasonably priced now doesn't stay that way forever. That's my
Yes,
take on that.
yes, definitely yes. Miguel, do you have any other thoughts?
All right. So actually, the developers countered by uh, offering more flexible payment terms. So to
Mm,
meet affordability and the loss of income, this flexibility will be absorbed in the years ahead as income levels in the local market continue to recover. For
mm,
now, this stabilization may not lead to rapid appreciation of pre-selling and ready for occupancy units, and secondary market prices, on the other hand, for local buyers will only grow when demand for rentals and increased employment returns to its trend level.
yeah, okay. I couldn't agree more actually. Well, I think this is a good time that actually for most investors to come into the market right now because as the prices has already and came down and it is now starting to climb up again. Yeah, so investors who are still hesitating, I think you might lose the opportunity. Yeah, so to come into the market during this time. So I want to thank you so much for Brian and Miguel. Thank you so much for participating and sharing and with us all your insights about the hotspots in the Philippines. And we will remember your insight information and your insights to the real estate market. And to our audience, should you have any question or any you require further information, please drop us a message in the comment box or contact us directly. And you can also visit us at our website www.iqiglobal.com, and do tune in to our Facebook Live every week for other international property sharing. And for this month, I just want to highlight to all of you who are interested to know more about Philippines real estate. We have lined up a good sharings section for this month, all focused in Philippines real estate related topics. So please watch this space for more in-depth information on the Philippines. And also, if you have missed any of our episodes, do log in to our Facebook page, IQI International Sales, or YouTube to watch the replay and to support us by sharing our program to your friends and family. And meanwhile, thank you, Brian and Miguel. I want to say goodbye now. I'm signing off now. Bye.
Bye, Miss Sue.
Bye,
Thank you
Miss Sue.
for the
Thank you.
time.
you. Thank you.